Hello, people, or the lack thereof. This isn't really a theory, but I decided to make the video either way because I'm not popular enough for people to care about content consistency. But I wanted to talk about Iron Lung, both the game and the movie, but mostly the movie because I haven't finished the game. I watched the movie the day before yesterday, and I started playing the game yesterday, last evening actually, while everything was dark, of course. Yeah. This video won't contain any spoilers, at least not intentional ones. But that does mean it won't include any gameplay footage or movie clips. So if that sounds boring to you, then just click off. The original plan was actually for me to discuss the movie while playing the game, but I couldn't focus on the game while talking. That is, of course, a skill most gaming YouTubers have learned long ago, but I have never made a gaming video before, and I'm barely comfortable enough to do a video like this, so yeah, without further ado, let's begin. I wanted to discuss some qualities with the movie that might be seen as flaws at first glance, but personally I have managed to see them in a more positive light. The first quality is the pacing. At times the pacing is very slow. There are points in the movie where really not much is happening. And especially early on, I felt a bit bored. And my expectations were lowered. Because I started to think, is the entire movie going to be like that? Is nothing going to happen at all? I was almost disappointed. But I'll get to why that is a good thing but after I discuss the first point I wanted to make about the slow pacing. I think the slow pacing was actually pretty good for the movie, because it put you in the mind of the character. The character wasn't having a fun or exciting time, so why make it more fun and exciting for us? We have to empathize with the character, of course. They want us to root for him, right? So we need a sliver of what is happening. To him, it was excruciatingly slow, and then we can sit through a little bit of slow pacing, right? Personally, that made me root a lot more for the character. I genuinely wanted him to get out of there. And yes, I felt panic for him during the most intense parts. And the second point about the slow pacing is that it is precisely that it lowered my expectations. That might sound like a bad thing at first, but by making me expect that nothing interesting would happen, the interesting parts, they hit me like a truck going full throttle. A supercharged one at that. they felt like they had so much more impact precisely because I didn't expect anything interesting to happen. And actually the game does employ a similar tactic. The game isn't boring because it forces you to focus on what you are doing, but it is uneventful most of the time. It was so uneventful that I flinched in fear when anything outside the norm happened, because I didn't expect it, right? For example, the oxygen notification, that scared me. And then when I took a picture and got an achievement, that also scared me, more than the picture, of course. But the scariest part was when I crashed into a wall. I think I zoned out a little bit there personally, because I don't remember the proximity sensor going off. I just remember suddenly the screen was black and I heard loud crunching noise. That was actually so scary I had to put the game down and take a break. And I don't think that would be as scary if the game was just propped full of events like that. No, it was scary because I didn't expect it. And I think the movie did that very well with slow scenes. The next quality I wanted to discuss is less likely to be seen as a flaw, but I have heard someone call it a budget issue. I don't think though that person got the movie, but yeah, I wanted to discuss it either way. So that quality is the fact that the entire movie is spent inside the submarine, and that we can't see outside it, and that we also can't see the other characters. I personally think the movie would be a lot worse if we could see anything outside the submarine, because both the game and the movie play on the claustrophobia of the submarine. It's tiny, it's cramped. That's a part of why it's scary. Another part of why it's scary, both the game and the movie, is that we can't see the monsters. Many horror movies or horror games, you can see the monster doing whatever the monster does. So you can expect what is going to happen at what time. Here, things just happen. We can't see the monster. We don't know what the monster is doing. We don't know where it is. Apart from when he takes the picture, but that only tells us where the monster is at that specific moment. And that plays on the fear of the unknown, which I personally loved, because my favorite genre of horror, I mostly read it because I think I mentioned earlier how much of a coward I am. But yeah, I read horror, and I read cosmic horror, Lovecraftian horror. These subgenres often do play on the fear of the unknown. For example, Lovecraft's works. The stories aren't scary because there is a monster there. That would be just that wouldn't be enough to make it its own subgenre. No, it's scary because we don't know what a monster wants. We don't know where it's from. All we know is that it is there, and that it is greater than us. That it is so much more superior than us that we go mad trying to understand them. Of course, that isn't really that much of an important role in the movie. The monsters themselves don't create the madness, but the character does go mad. But of course, this was supposed to be a spoiler-free movie, so video. So I won't expand too much on that. It also won't really be an Iron Lung movie if we could see outside it, or if we could see the faces of the other characters, because we couldn't in the game. That's what makes the game unique. The entire reason. Well, not the entire reason, there are of course other reasons, but that's a very big part of it. We can't actively hide from the monster, because we are the ones who don't know where the monster is. Right. And there's no human contact in the game. In the movie there's a lot more human contact, of course, because a one-person movie could get pretty boring, like just a dude wandering around, no one to talk to, no one to see. Yeah, that would be pretty boring, right? Anyways, I digress, and I'll get back on track now. A third quality I wanted to mention was I have heard people point out that the acting quality is subpar, and that filming was amateurish and everything. I don't think that, but of course I haven't trained my eyes for these kind of things. But if you just sit back and enjoy the movie, you won't notice that the acting is bad or anything. I personally enjoyed the filming style of it, the angles and such. For example, near the end, where when he was running out of oxygen, we could see that the character was losing track on reality. Everything was fuzzy and bright. Yes, that of course puts us even more in the mind of the character, and I don't think the movie would be as good if that didn't happen. I think that was everything, actually. I could, if you have suffered through it so far, I could tell you a fun story from when I went to watch it. It felt like the movie theater didn't know people were gonna watch it at all. There were no posters, no trailers, no promotional materials like unique popcorn buckets. Could have had like a submarine with red colored popcorn or something. Markiplier is famous enough to have some such special things, I think, but there was nothing like that at the movie, and we got the smallest hall possible. There was a guy, an employee, that came into the hall and talked to us about things. He said that he didn't expect to see the hall so full. I mentioned that the hall was pretty small, of course, and he said he only got to know that they were going to show the movie on Wednesday, so didn't have really much time to prepare. It honestly felt like I was going to watch something forbidden or cursed. It was a quite mystical feeling to go see a movie that the theater itself didn't seem to know that they were going to show, with no posters, nothing. Yeah, that it honestly kind of enhanced the feeling for me. But I think I'll end the video here. Thank you for watching, if you even did watch. I don't know how to end these things.